Happy anniversary. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Lizzie and I'm a Disney plush collector, but I do all things Disney on this channel, so if that's something you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you're always notified when there's a new video. So happy Wednesday. I never ever upload on a Wednesday, but it's the 17th of February, which means it's my 3-year anniversary of starting my YouTube channel. So I thought I would do my long-awaited Q&A. If you don't remember, back in November or December, I did ask for questions on my community tab from you guys, and I said it was going to go up early 2021. When I said that, I did mean January, but then I had so much Christmas content I needed to get up while it was still kind of relevant. So I had my Christmas spirit jersey to show you, I had my Christmas wishables to show you, and then I had to pack away all my Christmas stuff. So that was 3 upload days that I couldn't give you a Q&A. So when I was thinking about what I could do for my 3-year anniversary, I thought, why not do that? I don't really want to be someone who reacts to my old videos, because I will be perfectly honest with you now, I don't think I've improved in 3 years. My very first video was a February Disney haul. Admittedly, it didn't have a thumbnail, but I imagine if I watched it back, I never ever have, that it would be just the same as my Disney hauls now, except maybe a little bit more confident, but not much. I do always admit the fact that I am not a confident person. I don't particularly like vlogging because it involves talking in front of other people. I much prefer these sit-down videos with you guys, but even then I can be really shy on camera if I know there are other people in the house. At the moment, my mum is in the kitchen and my dad is asleep next door, but if he were awake I wouldn't be able to film because his office is directly underneath my bedroom and I would just think I was disturbing him by talking, so I don't do my videos when everybody is awake. But it's been 3 amazing years. I am at 1,500 subscribers, which is amazing. I have been monetized since last April. I can't remember exactly how many subscribers I had this time last year. My video from last year would probably tell me, but I really don't like watching back my own videos. I have a problem listening to my voice, and I know that once a video is up, I can't change it, so I don't want to get too in my head. But today is going to be quite a long video. I counted all my responses and I've got like over 80 questions. Some will be the same question, so I won't keep answering it again and again, but the good thing is that gives me variety. If there's anything that I don't particularly want to answer or don't think would be relevant to this video, then I can just ignore that. So I've got some questions on Facebook, I've got loads of questions on Instagram, and I did give everyone the opportunity to DM me on Instagram if they had questions that they didn't want to show publicly, because obviously on the community tab your comments are shown to everybody. So this is going to be a very long video. Get cozy, get a cup of tea. I'm using my Euro Disney mug. And let's get started. So we're starting off with a hard one. Park Pioneer asks, what's one thing that you dislike about Walt Disney and one thing you think he could have done better? So after reading quite a lot of biographies about Walt, he isn't the nasty person that people say he is. He wasn't anti-Semitic or anything like that, but I have found that if he was stressed, he kind of put it onto his staff and made them stressed about a certain deadline or something. And after reading Ed Catmull's book from Pixar, that isn't the right way to lead a company, especially a company of creatives. You have to kind of take the stress off them so that they can create the best thing that they could, because if you're under pressure, you may not create the best thing you could have. That's something I don't particularly like about him. I don't think his management style was the best in the beginning. I think once there was success and he didn't have to worry about money anymore, I think that got better. Or maybe that's something he could do better as well. But the other thing is just my personal perspective from seeing Celebrity Today. He kept his lung cancer private, and someone as high profile as that talking about that would have really raised awareness, and maybe not so many people would have smoked in the 1960s because of him. But obviously that is to each their own whether they will discuss that with people. I know he kept it very quiet. He told his wife and children, he told his brother, or I think the doctor told his brother, and I think he told a few executives at the company, but nobody knew it was that bad. They didn't realise it had reached like the final stages because they were all so shocked when he passed. So it's not something that like I hold against him, because I think he was a wonderful man. He did great things, and I think he left the earth too soon, but obviously there wasn't treatment back then that could help him. But seeing people today raise awareness about the illnesses that they have, it would have been something really great if he could have done that, but I understand why he didn't. So getting the difficult question out the way, what's your favourite Disney quote? I'm going with Walt Disney for this one. So that would be first think, second dream, third believe, and finally dare, which is actually in my Instagram bio. So I've got a few Instagram specific questions that I'll get out the way first, because obviously we're on YouTube, so no one probably cares about my Instagram. But my friend Weasley's book asked me, what made you start your Instagram account? So I originally had a personal account that wasn't growing very well, and Shauna, Weasley's book, actually suggested to me that I started a completely new account, which I believe I started in the May of the same year that I started my YouTube channel. So my Instagram will be 3 in May. And I've been growing so well recently. I think someone's asked me a question about that later on, but I just wanted to like share my collection. It's so much easier to share like a piece of my collection every day rather than have to get up all these videos really quickly, because there's so much of my collection I haven't shown you yet. And I just find Instagram really fun. I'd had my personal Instagram since like the beginning of Instagram, so when I started my new one it was a little bit daunting trying to like get followers again. I think I had about 6,000 followers on my personal when I started this account, and then I waited till I had about that on my new account to delete my personal, because I don't like having multiple Instagram accounts. I've been toying with making a Bookstagram account, but I feel like I would accidentally post to the wrong account most of the time, so... And then she also asked, what do you love most about your Instagram? I really love the Reels function. I'm finding Reels really fun because I personally don't like TikTok. I think it can be really toxic. I posted like a light-hearted TikTok about my car once and I got so many hate comments, and I was like, if you don't like something, just scroll up. Like, don't waste my time having a go at me, because that says more about you than it does about me. But I just prefer Instagram. I think it's a slightly safer space. I'm not saying all of my comments are nice, but you know, you can't make everybody like you and your content. Magically Pre asked, favourite thing you've learned from being on social media? I think it is what I've just said, that negative comments don't necessarily say anything about you. They say more about the insecurities of the person who is saying them to you. That doesn't mean that I don't get upset by what they say, but I brush it off a little easier because I just kind of think, well, they must have a lot of problems to be projecting that onto me. Because personally, when I don't like someone or I don't like their picture, I certainly don't tell them, I just keep scrolling. And then this one kind of relates, I'm trying to keep them in categories. Chloe Ever After asked, would you become a Disney influencer if given the opportunity to do full time? I mean, if I suddenly had like millions and millions of followers and subscribers and it actually paid as well as my day job, then for sure I would. But I know that doesn't happen to many people. That is like Tim Tracker level. And I bet even Tim Tracker relies on his merchandise sales, and I don't think I could ever have merchandise. I've been toying with the idea of stickers that I send to people, but like a t-shirt with my name on, I don't know. I don't know as I could do something like that. But if YouTube purely paid the bills, then I would, but I'm not naive enough to think that that's something that could happen to me. Obviously dream big and everything, but I've been doing this for 3 years and I occasionally buy myself a plush with my YouTube earnings. So I know all of a sudden I won't be able to pay my bills or buy a house with my YouTube earnings. And Wannabe Musketeer asks why I started my account, which I covered, but also asked my favourite memory from having this account. So that was for sure working with Disney UK. I still can't believe it happened. I wasn't expecting it. They had spoken to me in the March, I believe, and then because nothing happened, I kind of put it down to the pandemic, but at the same time I thought maybe I didn't answer the questions the way they wanted me to, and then they worked with me in the August, which is amazing. I mean, it's never happened since, but I'm just so grateful that it did, and I'll never ever forget that massive Shop Disney UK box coming through the door. And then the final Instagram question, Tigger Tim UK asked, what is the best way to increase your followers but stick to what you like posting? So I think I got this question because I've gained 600 followers in the past week. My account has really blown up because of a couple of reels that have got over 100,000 views. I did a meme one that showed my collection, and then I also did a Grease one that was really popular. Obviously, as you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, Lizzie and Disney, I always post Disney. If I'm in the picture, it's something Disney. If I'm on holiday somewhere non-Disney, I'm wearing something Disney. Apart from the occasional Harry Potter post, which is very rare, I always post Disney. I know some people don't like that, but that's what I personally like. And I think that's how I grow, because my content is consistent. And when I post pictures of my collection, a lot of people tag their friends, and then they may follow me because they haven't seen my collection before. So it's just a case of I don't sacrifice my content. I don't do things that are popular if I can't incorporate Disney, and I kind of rely on people sharing my content. So I think that's it for Instagram questions. And then I've got some holiday questions. So Steph asks, which park are you most likely to visit first post-lockdown? Do you have a trip planned? So I was supposed to go to Disneyland Paris last March for my birthday. That got cancelled, completely cancelled, and then we rebooked for November. And then I just felt uneasy because of the lockdown. We would have to quarantine for 2 weeks. It wasn't really doable, so we moved it to this March. And then Disneyland Paris said that they weren't going to be open again. So at the minute, that trip is up in the air. We don't know whether to just cancel it or reschedule it, but I would like to think it would be Disneyland Paris that I went to as soon as I could. Non-Disney dream destination. So for me, that would be Canada. I've always wanted to go to Canada. I don't exactly know where in Canada, but I would just really love to go to Canada. Would you ever move to Orlando or closer to Walt Disney World? I personally would not move to America. I could not sacrifice the NHS and have to pay for my healthcare, so I personally wouldn't move to America. What would be your dream Disney trip? So it would be Disneyland and DCA, and then a flight to San Francisco for the Walt Disney Family Museum, and then it would be hopping on a Disney cruise to go to Alani. Very expensive trip, not even sure that they do that as a package, but that would be my dream. Favourite snack from every park you've visited. So in Disneyland Paris, it is the little Nutella donuts. They're little balls. I think you get 5 or 6. They are my favourite there. Tokyo Disney, it is the alien mochi. Walt Disney World, I haven't been for such a long time, but it was an Olaf candy apple. And Disneyland, it was a Minnie Mouse cake pop that was vanilla cake, and then it was white chocolate on the outside. What is your favourite ride? It's a Small World. It has always been It's a Small World, but it's also very closely followed by Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion. Do you have any Disney Parks traditions you have to do when you visit? So me and my dad always have a picture taken at the Sword in the Stone. We have done it for as long as I can remember, and there was one year that Disneyland Paris had covered up the Sword in the Stone with vines for Maleficent, and I was so angry because we literally had done that every every single trip up until then. What's the first thing you want to do when you go back to the parks? Honestly, I want to go on Pirates of the Caribbean. I know that It's a Small World is my favourite, but I personally think you can get the same experience by watching a YouTube video, whereas you can't do that with Pirates of the Caribbean because you need the smell and you need the drops. So Pirates of the Caribbean. What would be in your dream Disney park? So it's kind of a case for me of having one park that has every ride I love in it. So it would have like Small World, Pirates, Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder, and then like some DCA rides. So it would have Radiator Springs Racers, it would have the Incredicoaster, it would have the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Monsters Inc., Mike and Sulley to the Rescue, but then from Tokyo Disneyland it would also have Monsters Inc. Ride and Go Seek. It would have Pooh's Honey Hunt from Tokyo Disneyland as well, and then from Tokyo Disney Sea you would have Autopia and Journey to the Centre of the Earth. From Disneyland you would have the Indiana Jones ride because I really enjoy that, and the Enchanted Tiki Room. And from the full Walt Disney World parks you would have Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Cali River Rapids, Frozen Ever After because I've never been on it and I really want to, Spaceship Earth, Figment, and what would I want from Hollywood Studios? I'd probably want like all of Galaxy's Edge, and also Toy Story Land. And from Disneyland Paris, I would really like Ratatouille. I know Epcot is getting it at some point, and Crush's Coaster as well. So my dream park would basically just be all the rides I love in one park, in one part of the world. Preferably England, but it's just never going to happen. I did do a blog post back when I had a written blog about why the UK should have a UK Disneyland, not the one that they're reporting in the news. If it's not owned by Disney, you shouldn't be allowed to call it Disneyland. If I were Disney, I would actually be putting in a lawsuit against the newspapers calling it a UK Disneyland. But if you would like a video where I basically do what I did in that blog post talking about why the UK should have a Disneyland, then I will do that video. And then, when did you first go to Disneyland or World? So I went to Walt Disney World in 2000. That was my first trip. I was 6 years old, and the first time I went to Disneyland was 2005 and I was 11. It was the 50th anniversary. And then similar question, how old were you on your first visit to a Disney park and which park was it? So that was Disneyland Paris, and I was going for my second birthday, but I was actually 1 year old at the time, so 1. Which park is next on your list to visit? So that would be probably Shanghai. No offense to Hong Kong, but I think it would be Shanghai because it's like the newest one. I do want to visit Hong Kong as well, especially since they've just redone their castle. And to be honest, I'd love to do them both on one trip, but whether I can do that ever is a mystery. And then I got another similar one, which would be if you could go to any Disney park, which one would it be and why? And I think I would go back to Tokyo Disney Sea because I just enjoyed it so much. I especially loved how much Duffy merchandise there is in Tokyo Disney Sea. It's a place where I really feel myself because I'm not judged for like buying loads of plushes. Everybody was walking around with a plush, so I did that as well, and I just felt so validated. Like, it's okay to love plush at whatever age you are. I knew that anyway, but it was just so nice. And then we've got tell us one of your first Disney memories. So this has kind of become like a core memory, but I don't personally remember it. Apparently when we went when I was 1, I walked straight up to Mickey Mouse and I grabbed his hand and we walked off down Main Street. If a child did that today, everybody would probably panic, but this was like 96, so it was fine. And my mom like cried, but I don't personally remember it, but I've heard this story so much that it's become like a core memory for me. So now I'm going to go on to Disney movie questions. So if you could star in a Disney movie, which would it be? I would star in Saving Mr. Banks, which is my favourite film because I get to meet Walt Disney. Even though it's not Walt Disney, it's Tom Hanks. Like, I just really love that movie. And I think the casting of Tom Hanks was exceptional because he's actually distantly related to Walt Disney. Top 3 must-watch Disney movies. So I'm going to take this from my personal perspective, not what you guys should watch. So my top 3 are Oliver and Company, Robin Hood, and The Aristocats. I am willing to bet you guys didn't know that, but those are my top 3 animated Disney movies. Favourite Disney princess is a toss-up between Belle and Rapunzel. Favourite Disney villain would be Hades or Frollo. Favourite Disney song changes a lot, but at the moment it's I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. What is your least favourite Disney film? Ooh, there's Disney films that I will not watch as often as everybody else does because I, for some reason, don't like it as much. So I think it's easier to say with Pixar because it'll be like one of the Cars films or The Good Dinosaur or something. But I've got quite a few least favourite films, so I really don't like The Lion King all that much. Not a massive fan of Aladdin, but I will watch it, and I love the live action. I really don't like Dumbo, but I liked the live action. And I also really don't like Pinocchio or Bambi. So someone actually asked if I like Bambi, so no, I don't like Bambi. What Disney film would you like to see a live action of? I would personally like to see Tangled as a live action. I know it's quite new, so they might not bother yet, but I think it would be really, really good because I actually think that you could cast the same actor and actress that voiced Rapunzel and Eugene, and I think it would just really, really work. And what film would you love to watch again with fresh eyes and experience for the first time? That is such a good question. I personally think Inside Out. When I recently watched Soul, it made me feel better about where I am in life and my purpose and where I'm going. And I feel like Inside Out would do the exact same for me now, only when I watched it, I didn't get the same feelings that I get about Soul. So Inside Out. What characters do you relate to the most? I would say Belle for the reading, Rapunzel for taking on too many tasks and then getting bored really easily, and I would say Eeyore. I feel like I can just be really moody or sad for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And if you could meet any animated character in real life, who would it be and why? So a lot of you may know that I always try to meet Sulley on my trips, and he's either out the day before or the day after, like my trip starts or finishes, and it just really upsets me because I think he's so fluffy and he's like over 6 foot tall. He would give really, really good hugs. So Sulley. Right, now I'm going to go on to like collecting questions. I've got some of the same question over and over, so I will only answer it once. What's your favourite bit of the child merch? I would personally say it's my The Child Bop-It. I did say I think it's the best piece of branded merchandise I've ever seen. I think it's really clever, it's also really fun to play, and I find it really relaxing actually. So either the Bop-It or the Child Squishmallow, which I need to show you at some point. And then, would you rather never be able to buy merch again or give up half your collection? I would personally say I would rather never be able to buy merchandise again, because if you're talking giving up half, that means I would have to give up either my Mickey memories or my minis. I would have to give up either my Sum Sums or my Wishables, and I just can't make those kind of decisions, so I'd rather just never be able to buy merchandise again. What's your favourite item in your collection? That would have to be my partner's statue. My mum and dad bought it for me for my 21st birthday. It's all bronze on a bed of marble and I absolutely adore it. How long have you been collecting? Seriously, probably since about 2015, but pretty much all my life. I've always had plushes. I don't like parting with my plushes, but I think that really like ramped up in about 2015, and then especially in 2018 with the Mickey Memories collection. What was the first plush toy you bought? So that's quite difficult because I can't remember. I can remember the first plush toy I was bought. It was bought in the hospital gift shop on the day I was born by my dad. It's a little pink elephant and I still have it because I am very sentimental like that. Do you think you'll ever stop collecting? I don't think so. I think I would like chill a bit. Like, I'm not collecting Stitch Crashes Disney. Somebody else asked me that, just because I don't like it and I don't feel the pressure that I have to collect everything for the sake of like showing it on this channel. I want this channel to be about what I want to collect and what I want to show, which is why there's a lot of Wishables at the moment. But no, I don't think I'll ever fully stop collecting. What is your rarest / highest value item in your collection? I personally think it would be January Mickey Memories because he goes for like £300 on the internet, so January Mickey Memories. What is the most over retail you've ever spent on an item? So there were 3 contenders and I've narrowed it down to 2. It would either be June Mickey Memories. It sold out online in seconds, so we had to get it on eBay and I paid 200% over retail for it. Or my Cinderella Castle collection ornament, which I paid 195% over retail for. Do you have any grail items that you don't currently have but are hoping to get? So the main one is the Sulley in my intro. I didn't buy him in Tokyo Disneyland and now it's pretty much impossible to get a pickup, so I don't know how I'm going to get it, but that is my ultimate grail. There's also a Disney tradition that I would really like of Sleeping Beauty, and in her dress you've got Walt holding Mickey's hand. So those are my 2 grails. Favourite cuddlies would have to be my XL Stitch because I just love how big he is. I wish they did a Sulley in that size. Right, I've got a few questions for favourite plush I own. So I'm going to go for Helen's question, which is what's your top 5 plushes? So that would be January Mickey Memories, my Disney Store Walt Mickey, my D23 Walt Mickey, my Sulley Pillow Pet, which was the first Disney plush that Joe ever got me, and my Build-A-Bear Winnie the Pooh. How do you store everything that isn't on display? So I've kind of done a video about this when I did how I display my plush, which I will leave a card for. I showed you the boxes that the plushes around the sofa and on the wardrobe sit on. So they are in B&M storage boxes, but I also use IKEA bags for like Christmas plushes and Halloween plushes as well. If you could only keep one item, what would it be? That's really difficult. I feel like it would probably be January Mickey Memories because I feel like everything else I could probably get back quite easily, but not January Mickey Memories. And then we're going to go on to specifically Sulley questions, which is why I'm sat in front of my Sulleys. How many Sulley plushes do you have? I've never actually counted them. Even when we moved I didn't, but I do want to start my Sulley collection videos next month, so I think I'll put a counter in the corner for each of the Sulleys that I show. My first Sulley plush would be the Sulley I got in 2001 when Monsters Inc. came out, because I never threw it away. What is your favourite Sulley plush? I think that would be, again, the pillow pet that Joe got me. And what's your favourite piece of Sulley merchandise that you own? That would be the Precious Moments that I recently got for Christmas. Meanest question ever, if you could only save one, Sulley plushes or Grogu plushes? I think this is going to like upset a load of people, but I would personally save the child because it's like throwing away a load of babies. I just couldn't do it. Why is Sulley your favourite character? I think because he's just like big and lovable, and I don't know, like all of the plushes for Sulley are always so soft and cuddly unless they have like a talking box or something, so that's probably why. And then we're just going to get into like miscellaneous questions. So if you could work for Disney, what would be your dream job? Either at the parks or in the offices or something. My dream job would actually be working for Disney Publishing, like being a publisher or an editor for the books. That would be my dream job. Have you ever read the Twisted Tales books? And if so, which one is your favourite? I haven't. I've got them all, but I'm focusing on the villains books first because they all tie in together. So I'm trying to read them all at once so that I don't forget what happens, but then I will read the Twisted Tales. Oh, favourite Disney key. At the time this goes up, it's going to be the up key, but at the time of filming I don't have it yet. But it's going to be the up key. Does your mom have a favourite Disney character? Yes, she loves Mary Poppins, and my dad loves Grumpy, Tigger and Snow White. Do you picture your wedding as Disney themed? Kind of. Like, I wouldn't have a Disney wedding like in Disney because my dad is a vicar, but he would only be licensed to do the wedding like where we live, where he works. so if I did it over in America he wouldn't be able to do it, which is what's always been the plan. So I think it would just be like a normal wedding, but like incorporating Disney a little bit. Like I've always looked at the Disney wedding dresses that they do. I can't remember what the design is called now, and I would quite like a Disney honeymoon, but I wouldn't actually get married in Disney, no. What things would you pass down to your children in the future? I always joke that with collecting plush, I've basically bought them all their toys and it's an investment for the future. I obviously wouldn't let them play with anything limited edition or anything that's displayed like properly, but you know, things like this that are on the sofa are fair game. What is your favourite animal? I've got a few. So I love sloths, I love dogs, I love otters, I love penguins, and I love meerkats. Where did your love of Disney first start? So essentially I was raised on Disney. My nursery was Disney when I was a baby. It was all painted white, but then there was like a border around that had like baby Mickey, baby Goofy, and baby Donald. And obviously my first trip I was still 1, so I've just been raised Disney basically. What merchandise would you like them to make? I would really like a storyteller's statue in the same way that they do a partner's statue. Now that they've done Carl and Ellie plushes, I think they could do a Walt plush and do it justice. So I would really like a Walt plush, and yeah, just more Walt merchandise basically. I don't see why they can't do like a figure set of Walt through his life or something. I would totally buy it. What are your top 3 self-care tips? So the things I tend to do are read a book, have a bath, and I find changing my bed sheets really helps as well. Like getting into a fresh bed just does the world of good for me. I know that's strange, but I'm not like a massive face mask wearer. I wear one once in a while. Which film or book is a real throwback for you? So the things I always watch on Disney Plus are The Parent Trap, the Lizzie McGuire movie, and The Princess Diaries, because those are like my childhood. As for non-Disney, Wild Child as well, I watch a lot. And How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, I watch a lot as well. And I'm going to end it with what's a perfect day for you. So I guess in the current situation it wouldn't be travelling anywhere. I really like to go shopping with my mom, like when it's allowed, when the shops are open. We tend to hit up Primark and the Disney store. I don't really go clothes shopping much apart from Primark and maybe H&M, but I just really like browsing, and I like going for meals with my mom as well. But obviously all that isn't allowed at the moment. But like perfect Disney day would be waking up in the Disneyland hotel at Disneyland Paris, going on Small World in extra magic hours, buying those Nutella donuts, and then just buying loads of plush. So that was my Q&A. Oh my god, I've been filming for over an hour, but I'm hoping I can like shorten this video for you guys. Thank you to absolutely everybody who asked me a question. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of them, but like I said, I've been filming for an hour. They were such great questions, and like I'm really amazed at how different they all were. I literally thought I would just get the same question over and over again, but I got so many like different varieties, and it really shows how like interested you guys are in my life to be asking these questions. So thank you for all of your lovely questions. If you have any more questions, then just drop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. But that is it from me. I will be back on Friday as usual for a Walt Disney haul. I've managed to get one of my Grail Funko Pops, so I hope you will join me for that. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you on Friday. Bye!